guys, my name is Maddie, or Books with Maddie, and today we're going to be doing my November wrap-up. So, November occurred, it came and it went, and I slumped the entire time. By the way, I apologize for this lighting situation. Oh, did I fix it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, November was probably my worst reading month of the year, maybe. That's not confirmed, but it was up there. It's up there with the worst ones. Everything went wrong in November. I got that stupid, insane curse thing, round TBR game thing, and ever since then it just did. I got so much homework and just everything bad happened. So I did not do well in November for November. I don't even have any notes. I usually am so prepared. I have notes usually and a summary. No, I don't have that today for you. So this is just really gonna be not good. We're just gonna start because we can. I don't even know. I don't know what the overview is, how many stars I gave what books. I don't know. So we're just gonna go. Okay, so the first one is The Plague by Albert Camus. This is a book that I read for my philosophy class. Albert Camus, you might know him from The Stranger. This book, The Stranger, many people read that for school. This is a terrible book. This one is better. I gave it 4 stars. And it's about a man named Ryu. And he lives in this town, city place called Oran. And basically there's a plague that occurs. There's an outbreak. They go into a quarantine. It's basically what's happening now in our country, except people are actually following the rules a lot of the time in this book. And yeah, they actually care about other people. So that's different. It was really interesting. The plague is actually a metaphor for evil, which I thought was pretty interesting. And yeah, it was a good time. It was much better than The Stranger. I actually enjoyed it. I had to read it really fast for class, so I don't know how much of it I actually absorbed. But yeah, I would recommend, if you're looking for an Albert Camus book to read, this one I would recommend. Next, another one for school. This one is for my gender and sexuality and literature course. I read Angels in America by Tony Kushner. This is a play slash also like an 8-hour HBO movie. Might have heard of it before, but yeah, we read it in the play format, so it looks like this. And we read parts 1 and 2. So there's the Millennium Approaches and Perestroika, and we read both of those. So does that count as 2 books? No. This is about, it follows a bunch of different characters, and it basically is like a giant commentary on the AIDS crisis and religion and politics, conservative politics in the 1980s. It was pretty good. I think I gave it 3 stars. Reading it as a play was like really hard because there was no exposition and there's a lot of like fantastical elements. So there are literally angels who like crash through the ceiling, and some characters have dreams about other characters, but I thought that they were actually together in a room. I'm like, how did they meet? Turns out it was a dream. I don't know if I was just too dumb to read this. Also, I was reading it really fast for class, and like usually at like 10 p.m. at night. We're watching pieces of the movie and I like the movie a lot better. So maybe it was just the way that I read it and I had to read it fast and it was late and I was tired. So 3 stars. Next, this one I've talked about quite a bit on my channel because it took me quite a bit of time to get through. I think I was supposed to finish this in September. Okay, this is Eloquent Rage by Brady Cooper. This is a nonfiction book which I read for my feminist theory class, and it's just a collection of, well, I don't even know if these are essays, they're just like chapters by Brady Cooper, who is a women and gender studies professor, and it was pretty good. I can't remember if I gave it, I think I gave it 4 stars. Might have been 3, I don't remember. The problem is that we're reading it against like Audre Lorde, and so like when you read Lorde and then you read Cooper, it's just like different. It just hits different, you know, because a lot of Cooper's ideas come from Lorde, and so it's just for a different audience. It was my biggest issue. Like, this is definitely like, if you're looking for like a starting book on feminism, specifically black feminism, I would highly recommend this. But if you already know a bit about it, I'd recommend either just straight out reading Audre Lorde or Amina Salami. I don't know if it's Mina Salami or Mina Salami, so I apologize if I mispronounced that. But yeah, so there was a couple things in here that I didn't really vibe with, honestly. Yeah, I don't really know. that was my ultimate conclusion. But as a whole, I thought this book was excellent. The writing was very accessible for audiences who are like just getting into feminism, like in an intellectual sense. So Good stuff. And lastly, did I only read 4 books this month? No, that's not possible. What else did I read? Oh, Quiet by Susan Kane. I'll put a picture up here. I listened to this as an audiobook, actually, and I did it for the alphabet challenge, where I have to read a book that starts with every letter of the alphabet, and this was for Q. Quiet, Susan Kane. This was about introversion and how to be an introvert in a world that only, praises extroverts, stuff like that. There's a much more concise subtitle to it that isn't that, but that was my summary, a longer summary of the subtitle to that book. So honestly, I would highly recommend this book. Super good time. It was really interesting. I liked a lot of Susan Kane used a lot of examples of actual research studies and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that. I love a good research study. So yeah, in that sense, I really enjoyed it. It was interesting because I read it as somebody who has always identified as an introvert, and I started to realize that maybe I'm not as introverted as I thought. I was really cool because I was reading a lot of the reviews that people wrote while I was halfway through, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, I read this because, it defined me, and it was speaking exactly how I am, and I was like, actually, this is pretty inaccurate to how I am. I wouldn't say I'm an extrovert, but I would say I'm not as much as an introvert as I thought I was. I would say I'm an ambivert, which is a new word that I learned, where you have an equal amount of qualities of both. Because actually, fun fact, I'm going way off topic, but there was a quiz in the book that was if you answer true to this many, you're an introvert. If you answer false to this many, you're an extrovert. Something like that. I got half and half. I got exactly down the middle. So apparently that means I'm an ambivert. I have no idea what that means. Have not looked into it at all. Maybe I should. That's my conclusion to that book, though. I would highly recommend it. Even if you're an extrovert, I would highly recommend it. It's super cool. It teaches you how to more appreciate introverts and what they bring to the table. So 10 out of 10. Actually, no. I think I gave it 4 stars. I forgot that I actually have a rating. Yeah. It was not 10 out of 10. I mean, it was great. Not that there was anything that I can actually critique of it, because I don't remember, honestly. I would give it a 4 out of 5. 8 out of 10. Next, lastly, the biggest. Okay, actually, before I do this one, let me talk about books that I started this month and read most of but didn't finish. Ruin Song by I'm sorry, I can't remember the author's name. I think actually it wouldn't be most of it. I think I only read 30 to 40% of this book. It's an arc. It's coming out. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I'll put the date here though. But it's coming out. I don't even know how to describe it. So it's like a fantasy book. It's sapphic, and it follows 2 characters, Cadence and Remy, I think their names are. Gosh, I'm terrible at this. And there's a magic system which is based off of music and song. Reminds me of this Savage song, but different. And yeah, that's pretty much the basis of it. I believe it's friends to lovers, enemies to lovers, I don't know, something along those lines. It's a good time though. I'm really enjoying it so far, but I just really haven't had time to finish it. Another one, Stay Gold by Toby McSmith. This was the book club book for November. Have not finished it yet. I believe I'm 30% through. It's fine. I'm fine. Another one, Our Stories, Our Voices, the anthology that I keep talking about. Haven't even, I think, 30% through. Inland by Tia Obrecht. Don't know what's happening with that book. I think, almost 40% through. I think I'm 39% of the way through. I'm 5 hours into the audiobook. I have no idea what's happening. The main character is either a camel or he's writing it to a camel. If you've read the book, please confirm or deny whether that's the case. I don't know what's happening. I think the mother is also communicating with a ghost, but I don't know. If you've read the book, please tell me, because I'm so confused. There's 8 hours left and I don't know what's happening yet. Okay, last book. We're going to talk about my most disappointing book of the year. I'm sure everybody already knows. If you follow me on Twitter, you already know what this is going to be. But Blood and Honey by Shelley Maherin. Let's take a moment. My most anticipated book of the year, Blood and Honey. Let's just take a moment of silence to mourn my soul after I read this book. Listen, if you read Serpent and Dove and you even a little bit enjoyed it and you're even a little bit looking forward to Blood and Honey, don't read it. You will be disappointed. Don't read it. Save yourself. Pretend Serpent and Dove was a standalone. I'm so sorry because I adored Serpent and Dove. I gave that book my soul. That was one of my favorite books of the entire year last year. And so I said, oh my gosh, I'm actually gonna like a fantasy series. I'm actually gonna keep up with a fantasy series. I'm actually gonna buy a book when it comes out. And I did, and I was let down. The problem is, I've been discussing this book with some people, and we've realized the problem is the fun is gone. She took the fun, Serpent and Dove was so fun. It was yes, fun. I mean, obviously there was some serious parts, and there were some serious discussions, but most of it was just this is just a fun time. I didn't have fun. I was stressed the entire time. The angst, I didn't ask for this amount of angst, okay? It was... And my favorite part, though, is that, like, all of us who hated this still gave it 3 stars. I was, like, looking through the reviews, and it was, like, 3 stars. I hated this book. Like, why did, like, I gave it 3 stars, and I hated it. I don't know why. I just couldn't bring myself to bring it lower than 3 stars. So, no, it's not one of my least favorite books of the year, but it is my most disappointing of the book of the year, 100%. Please just save yourself and don't read it. If you are looking forward to it all, make up a story in your head. Like, I promise it'll be better. I will be continuing with the series because the way that it ended was not actually okay. It wasn't okay. Like, it just wasn't okay. Nobody asked for it. Nobody wanted that. Absolutely not okay. So, the sequel is, or the final book, Gods and Monsters, is coming out August. So if anybody, Shelley, Maherin, or whoever your publishing company is, if you're gonna just, like, let me know if things are gonna be okay, like, right now, that'd be great. I'm mildly distressed constantly because of this book. So, that's the tea. Those are all of the books that I completed or started this month. It was not a good month. Now I have even more books to read in December. That's pretty much all I have to say. It's gonna be a pretty short wrap up, unlike these usually are when I'm actually being productive and reading. But yeah, so wish me luck on next month because there are a lot of books I was supposed to complete the challenges that I've been participating in for the year. Okay, I think that's it. Check the description below for my Goodreads, Twitter, and Instagram, and all the links of where to find me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you have a great life, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye!